Hello to you. Let's talk about Pentatonic I-IV. Let's talk about playing the blues on Pentatonic I-IV. So Pentatonic I-IV has 6 functional blues scales. This can be used in a musical context, etc. Richter tuning has 2. And we'll say G and D. There's a little section at the top of C there with the blow bends where there's a full blues scale, but I don't consider it functional as it's so high in the register. It's done with the blow bends. We don't really use that often in a musical context. So we'll start with second position Richter, our G blues scale. Pentatonic I-IV is actually, its primary position is draw harp, third position. I think most of us are familiar with, more familiar with draw harp. So we'll start there. Let's start with holes 2, 3, and 4 of Richter. Draw 2 is our root note, G. And draw 3 is our flat 3 note, B flat. And we have to do the half step bend on it to get our B flat. This is assuming we want to play the blues scale here. We need to get our flat 3. And pulling off that half step bend on a 1.5 step bend hole is a difficult maneuver. I've been trying it for years and it's still often not right on pitch. And there's a fair amount of wiggle room on that 3. If you have it a little sharp, it's okay. Then that's how the blues is. We'll talk about that a little more later perhaps, but so it's not the end of the world, but it's still difficult and time consuming to grab it there and get it right on point. On the blow 3, we also have our G, which is handy. I like using that. And then, of course, our 4 is on the blow 4. Our 5 is on the draw 4. Then a half step bend below that 5, we get our flat 5. Here's the 5, flat 5. I'll go down. Oops. There you go. I did a poor job grabbing that flat 3. I'm certainly not the best harmonica player in the world, but you know, I've practiced the thing for a few years and I still find that challenging. It takes time. You can't rip through there. It's about all there is to it. Let's see. Okay. So that's those 3 holes on Richter. Let's take a look at the same notes on Pentatonic I-IV. Our G, our root note, is on the 1 blow. Then our flat 3 is a whole step bend, and the draw 2. And it's a 2 bend hole, which makes all the difference in the world. When the bend's all the way at the bottom, it's easier than the ones in the middle there. Ones in the middle you need to try and dial in, but there's like a stopping point on the bottom so you can rip it all the way down. It's a lot easier to get that on pitch. And if you care to, you can also have it go a bit sharp, to get more of a major type of sound out of it. That option's there. And then our 4 is on the draw 2. Just let up on our bend, come up, hit the 4. The 4 is also on the blow 3. So we can use that to get a different attack and to catch our breath. It's very useful. Our 5 is on the draw 3. And right below it is the flat 5. That holds basically the same setup as Richter. 5, bend down to the flat 5, 4 on the blow. And again, our 5 here is also doubled. The 5, the D, is also on the blow 4. Again, it'll set you up for your next phrase, has a different attack, and you can use it to catch your breath. You can play forever, as you can change direction, do the blow. You know, this harmonica is set up primarily to play and draw, so you can access your bends, and you have you can bend every hole. So you also have at least a half-step bend, a stylistic bend on every hole. So you're primarily drawing, but there's a whole bunch of blow notes also. So you can catch your breath and you can just play forever. All right, let's move on to the next 3 holes. Let's take a look at next 3 holes on Richter then. So when we come out of that D on the draw 4, right next to it on the draw 5 is our flat 7. That's real nice, because you got a trill there. Real nice to have things right next door on the same, you know, change in direction takes time. Nice. Speaking of change in direction, then we change direction here for our root note again when we come to the octave. All other things being the same, and it'd be a lot nicer if that G were also on the draw. We could wa-da-da, wa-da-da, go right, but you need to change direction in it. It's not as happening as plainly. Okay. Let's take a look at those 3 notes on Pentatonic I-IV. So here we left off on our 5 on the draw 3. And the flat 7, just like Richter, is right next door there. Got our trill, but we don't have to change direction. Our G is right next door on the draw 5. Very nice, right? I mean, that's better than... Sure it is. Further, we get to bend that 4, the G, down to our F. Oops. And I went down to the blow on that one, the blow D, when I was done. Or I could have gone over the draw, I just got to skip a hole. That's a boon. Sure nice to have that on there. Because we can't do that here. We just got... Much better. Alright, so then let's go to Richter. Pardon me. Next 3 holes on Richter after we hit our octave on the old 6 blow there. Well, we're out of luck actually because we were trying to play the blues scale, which has a minor third, a flat 3, the B flat in this case. On the draw 7, all that's available is a B. So down here we're going, and then up here we go. It's the happy one. It's like the bottom unbent. And I'll talk more about the merits of using that major note versus the minor note, etc. more in the future. But for now, I'll just say if we're playing the blues scale there where we employ the flat 5, where, you know, and we're to have the major note with the flat 5, that's 4 notes right in a row, doesn't sound cool. Again, assuming we're using the flat 3 to play the blues scale, the party ends at the blow 6 because the flat 3 isn't available after that. That, you know, that's why most people, when they stop at hole 6 because then you change. It's incongruent. On the bottom you had B flat, now you're going to the B. It doesn't make sense. All right, so let's take a look at the next 3 holes on Pentatonic I-IV. So here we left off on our draw 5. Our tonic. Forgive me, I'm kind of got a little lost there for a minute. Okay, yeah. Left off on our tonic, the draw 5, and the G. That's also on the blow 6. Next note up. Well, now we've actually come full circle. Next note up, well, the blow 6 is exactly the same as the blow 1. And then it's all the same. Once we learn the bottom 5 holes there, top 5 is exactly the same. So thus far we came to the conclusion that Pentatonic I-IV is easier to play than the Richter one. We don't have to beat our brains out doing the half step bend on the 3 bend hole. We also have you can do a whole step bend up to our octave there that we didn't have. We had another trill in there. Well, we had 1, 2, actually 3 trills in there, but whatever. And there again, there's a 4-hole glissando too. You go G, D, C here. Easy. Child can do it, right? And instead of things stopping halfway through there, have another full octave. Now, in all fairness on Richter there is a whole step bend on your tonic at the bottom there. Of course, which is great. That's fantastic. On Pentatonic I-IV, you have it, one octave up. Further, on Richter, you have these other two notes down here. You got your 5 and your 4 and your flat 5 too. You can use those. That's cool. Okay, so we'll call that good on there for now. Let's go ahead and move on then. And talk about what happens when our rhythm changes. So we've been in there. Let's talk about when the, bass player, whomever, changes what they're doing. They move up to the 4. Let's start with Richter. So now we're in key of C. And if we were to just go ahead and keep playing what we were playing before, our G minor pentatonic scale, but we'll leave the 5 out because that sounds like a real mess. But we could just carry on through with the G pentatonic minor scale. Reason being, 4 of the notes are the same as the C pentatonic minor scale. The only one that's different is the D. The D is on the G blues scale, G pentatonic minor scale, and for the C pentatonic minor scale, we have a E flat. And the E flat is our 3rd when we're in C there. It gives us that. And like if we're on the 1, we'll go 1, flat 3. And then when we go up to C, we want to go bump, bump, burner. But unfortunately, all that's available on that blow 5 is E, our major 3rd. And it's happier. It's not really what we're doing down there. So generally what I do, I kind of hit my root when we change. Something like that. I walk myself through and then I get back to the G and I could start jamming again. Because I don't think that C works to go. It's incongruent. Like I say, I guess we can just, if we were to continue playing on in the G pentatonic minor scale, and we would hit the D. There again, doesn't sound right to me. What sounds right to me is congruency on the bottom. I use the flat 3, so when I move up to the 4, I also use a flat 3. Oops. Oops. Take 2. There we go. congruency there. So let's start looking at this 4 on Pentatonic I-IV. It's going to be our C there. Guess we'll start on the draw 2. That's a C, and below it is our flat 7. There's also a C on the 3 below. Excuse me. Then the 4 draw whole step bend is our E flat, our flat 3. 4 draw unbent is our 4, the F. Five is on the 5 hole. And you can bend it down to the flat 5. Then further you can bend it down to the flat 4. Or you can just move over to the 4. And you can travel between those bends. You go G, G flat, F, and then you can move over to your E flat. With ease, again, because they're pulled all the way down to their stopping point. Oops. I think I'm on the right one, yeah. Very nice. Those bends are really cool. Let's review and compare it with Richter. With Richter, from what I can see, I mean, I don't feel playing that C and then the major, then the second, and maybe the 4 there with the F, and just staying in G pentatonic, but focusing on the C. That doesn't seem to work. And adding the major 3 with the E, I don't dig that either. So, I mean, the way I see it, I just hang out at the, I mean, you can throw in the F, I guess. And that's what I got to riff out in there. Here you got 2 full octaves with what do you got on there? Whole step bend, 3 whole step bends. Where? I think I'm upside down. It's nice. I mean, that one rocks. So would we rather have, the Richter setup with the missing note, giving us, a workable couple holes there, or a whole harmonica with 3 whole step bends, and you can do the, that's cool. Let's see. So like I say, we're changing. We're going. And it does the, it hits the 5 there. which in this case is D. And we do that, we're going to switch to D, third position, play the minor pentatonic / blues scale there, D minor pentatonic. Let's take a look at what that looks like on Richter here. Guess we'll start in the middle there. First 3 holes, I got that's cool. That's fair. I think that's the best part of draw harp right there. Fairly nice setup. Got our trill in there, got our bend. Let's take a look at those same ones on Pentatonic I-IV. So draw 3. Well, there's the draws for us. All right, draw 3, 1, draw 4, flat 3, draw 5, pardon me, is the 4, and draw 6 is the 5, pardon me, and it has the flat 5 on there. Now again, just seems to make more sense to me instead of doing the direction change. Just have them all lined up all on the draw. You have all trills and you can... And when you rip across there, it's not like ripping across a bunch of nonsense. It's the actual scale that we're using here. And we also have our bend there. We have our whole step bend from the 4 down to our flat 3. Our 1's also on the blow. Our 4 is also on the blow, which is a nice move. Happening. Is that more happening than this one? Oops. Let's take a look at our next 3 notes. We left off on the draw 6 there. Richter. I find it difficult to make that rip with draw, move, blow, move, draw. It's just... Same on Pentatonic I-IV, draw 6. The direction change, you know, can give you that. Let's take a look at the next 3 holes on Richter. So we're on our octave on the draw 8. And there's a nice trill there, man. Cool. I mean, that's great. Okay. Let's just finish it up while we're up here, actually. So there's that up to our 4, our 5s on the draw 10. And we have our flat 7 on the blow there. There again, I don't find that all that happening. It's nice we have that trill there, but after that, the blow, draw, blow, just doesn't sound silky and sexy. So Pentatonic I-IV. Things end on the G at our 4 there. Doesn't go up no higher. Richter's got the 5 and the flat 7. We also have our whole step bend there too. Jams, it cooks, it grooves. I like it. All right. Let's go down the bottom then. Back to hole 4 on Richter. Draw 4. And we'll move our way down. So below our draw 4 is our flat 7, the C. And our 5 is a whole step bend on a 1.5 step bend hole there. And again, it's those in-between bends there, you know, that are difficult. There's very few of us that can get that, this A, this whole step bend on the 3 draw, right on pitch. I mean, every time, you know, quickly. It's just, if you're a hot shot, yeah, they got it, you know, they can knock that out, but most people can't. It's problematic. Let's take a look at and on Pentatonic I-IV. Then we'll move down, we'll continue our journey. So on that whole step bend on the draw 3 on Richter, got our 5. Below that is our flat 5. And our 4, the G, is on the blow or the 2 draw. about you. I don't spend a whole lot of time down there. It's just too difficult for me dealing with that, trying to get that on pitch. Let's take a look at Pentatonic I-IV. Pentatonic I-IV ends on G, so you don't have your flat 3, your root, or your flat 7 on there like it does. Is what it is. But like I say, I think most people spend most of their time on draw harping like that, middle octave there. I don't, if you're great and all that, you can really make things happen probably in that bottom octave too, but so then we'll run all 3 of our blues scales together.